Well, there are things R just do better. Here's some reason why.
Before I actually elaborate, let me explain. So I don't actually know many languages in programming. I mostly code in R, Python, Google Apps Script, and a lot of Google Sheet functions. And the assign symbol I think is just far superior in many sense because it's an arrow, right? An arrow means whatever in its side is being assigned to that side. Both AppScript and Python uses an equal sign as a assign symbol, but the worst of all, I think, is the spreadsheet function where you start coding in a cell using the equal sign. So whatever calculation in the back is actually being assigned to that cell. So the object is the cell that you're coding in, which is kind of confusing for any kind of programmer, I would say. The second would be the pipe operator. So in AppScript and Python, you can chain function together by adding the name of the function after another. So in AppScript, it roughly looks like this, where you will get the data, you do this, you do that, you do normalize, you drink tea with no sugar, and all are calculated into the new value. So you already realize that some of them have brackets, some of them doesn't, and some of them required, some of them doesn't. Very confusing. In Python, it's slightly better, meaning that all of them needs to have like a bracket behind that. But it's again quite confusing when you're first coming into this programming language. This is where the pipe operator in R comes in. Look at this, where there's a directional indication again, where the data set is being piped to a log and piped to a round. So everything has a bracket behind it. You can actually assign manually where do you want the data set to go, just putting the period over there. And that will take the data, pipe to another, pipe to another, pipe to another, and in the end, you finish the calculations. So the third one, well, I might actually get cancer for this, but I think array should start from 1 because we are not coding in binary. For example, you have a data set of 1,000 elements and you want to take out the first 100. Some call it subsetting, some call it slicing, but this is how you do it in both Python and AppScript, right? You have a data set, when you do a slice of 0 to 100, because the first element is 0, where they include it, and the last element is 99, but you have to put 100 because they don't include the last element. I don't understand how it works because you want to take the first 100 out, you have to specify the first 101 element and exclude the last one. Very confusing. But in R, it's just like that because you include the first and you include the last element. You want the first to 100, you put 100 and you get your answer. Very simple. So the next one will be the IDE. Okay, so the IDE called Integrative Development Environment is just the software that you use to code this code. So in Python, so far the best IDE I have is Google Colab and Microsoft Visual Basic Code, which looks something like that and something like that. So in Python, not only you have to understand the concept, there's different version of the Python. You can have multiple version of Python exist in different environment. For example, Reticulate and Conda, right? So in the IDE, you actually choose between what kind of version that you want to run in or what kind of environment that you want to run in, and both of which have different dependency and package management and all the difficulties that you run into. Yes, I know they're useful when your project are bigger and bigger and you need the kind of modularity and stuff. But for people that just want to get things done right now, R just make it so much easier, especially with the line-by-line execution that you have in RStudio. You can see everything on screen right away. You can do the console, environment, and plot. It just makes things so much easier compared to the other. In AppScript, I would say it is easy, but also, can I have a little bit more options, Google? You can't actually do anything. It's good in the simplicity, but you kind of not have any control of how you want the environment to look like. So the last one will be the package management. So R version control and package management in RStudio is just extremely easy. For example, you can change the RStudio version right here, and you can change the repo right here. And if you want a custom package install from a GitHub page, you just install dev2 and then you run this, and that will actually grab the whole package down, install it, and you can use it right away in your next restart or reset, so on. You can just open a script, a markdown, and you can start coding just like that. So in Python, I'm not kidding, this is actually a true story. This is what happened. So I install Visual Basic Code, I install R, I open it, and I don't know where it's Jupyter Notebook, because apparently you need to go to add-on and actually install Jupyter Notebook. And after you have opened it, you can't actually run it because you don't have an engine installed, and they just say that it's not trusted environment. So again, then you close out, open it up, you have to open the whole thing in the trusted window, and then you have to enable the engine and then choose between the Python version, which I currently have 7 or 8 in. I have to know what exactly I need to do, where exactly I need to go, and all that thing. And even after that, I go into my Jupyter Notebook, I open it, I open a Python chunk. It still doesn't run. I have no idea why. And by the time I reach here, I think I would just give up and go back to Google Colab if I need Python, or just go back to R if I can do the same thing. So in AppScript, it's kind of the opposite. You don't have any control of the version. You open up a browser, you open AppScript, you get what it is. You can choose between different API for Google Sheet and Google Doc, but what you see is what you get. And if something stopped working, it's kind of difficult to troubleshoot, and there's no way you can roll back to the previous version because it doesn't exist, because you don't have it. So that's what I have to say for now. I understand that I'm ignorant of the design choice, and certain things that they do would definitely make sense in the time where they designed it. But this is just some of the problem I went through, and why I always end up with R if I just need some of the project to start working now without going through all the troubleshooting and process. That's all I have to say today. I want to say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.